Welcome guys to a new tutorial, and in this tutorial we will be learning to do King Earth himself, and this is a giant gorilla with fiery horns and magic floating on a rock, etc. in a dark background. And the reason why this tutorial is intermediate is because it's a bit more complicated, and I am assuming in the duration of this tutorial that you already know basic commands, you know, like cutting, applying blending modes, etc. This is basic stuff, so you have to know. I'm not gonna explain every command. I'm just gonna say like cut this and put it there, for example. So just a heads up, you know, if you are not at that level yet, then just simply go and watch other beginner tutorials from my videos. So let's get on with the tutorial. Okay, so first things first, you're going to be needing a few items. I have them here. I got them from Shutterstock, so you're not going to have these unless you buy them. But there is a website called cgtextures.com, and literally almost everything except the gorilla is there. So I didn't see animals and stuff. So it's a website. You just go on it, you go into their fire category, you know, after you made an account, and you can download files such as this one. I will link it in the description. I will link some rocky stuff in the description. I will link some backgrounds in the description, some fire sparks, and obviously some fire lines, which we're going to be using for the antlers. Now the antlers, I think DeviantArt has a lot of images with antlers, so just search there, and gorillas too. It doesn't have to be a gorilla. Your animal can be any animal. You just add antlers to it, you know. And yeah, a landscape, obviously you can find it on DeviantArt. You can take it yourself or just buy it or download it from CG Textures. And the magic symbol, well, you can just make that with the pen tool, or, you know, just draw a circle and add a triangle inside, then other circles and triangles. You know, just make it how you want. So let's see the work process. Let's see what went into making this manipulation. Now again, this is intermediate, so I'm assuming you know all the commands, all the basic commands. So first things first, you're gonna make a new file, and you're gonna make it the size that you want. I usually use 4K because my computer can handle it, and I think images look way better when I can set them at a wallpaper, you know, or at least a part of them. So I'm just going to slice from this 4K image about less than half, and then go to image crop. And then my image size right now is 1692 times 2160, so it's all right. I mean, it works. Just gonna save that, you know, so I have a backup. Animals and Inksets, gonna save that on the desktop save. I'm going to have to make the background now, so I'm going to import the landscape, and I'm going to, okay, come on, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to import the landscape, and I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I'm just holding shift and dragging, yeah. So there we go. And I'm gonna put it right there. And now I'm just going to add a mask to it and select the soft brush. Let me see here, soft brush, big soft brush, big, not that big, 1300 maybe. And you're going to just, okay, opacity, make sure it's 100%, and just brush over it, you know, so you kind of got like that fading background kind of look. And now you're gonna need some sky, so I'm gonna add these clouds inside of Photoshop. There we go. Just gonna resize them a bit. I'm gonna move them a bit down and press enter. And I'm gonna move them behind the rocks here. So I'm gonna make a copy of the clouds now because I want it more pronounced, and I'm gonna move this on top of the thing. And I'm gonna transform and rotate this. There we go, 180 degrees, so I can have some clouds down there. So I'm just going to add a mask to the clouds that I put on top of the earth layer, and I'm going to add a mask and brush whatever I don't need, you know. There we go. Gonna make a new copy. Just gonna keep making copy until I like the look of my stock background here, so to say. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Gonna brush on the mask, just like that. Gonna make a copy of it again. Right click and flip horizontal. You know, so I have it on the other side. I'm just gonna move it here, press enter, and this looks good. There's a line over there, so I'm just gonna remove that. There we go. Now, if you have any cloud brushes, you don't need this, but I have some cloud brushes. Just Google cloud brushes. You know, I can use it for fog right now. So let me just grab my tablet really quick. And I'm going to just sample holding Alt a color from this piece kind of background stuff, and I'm just gonna put some fog kind of thing inside, just like that. A bit darker. I want some dark fog too. There you go. Just something like this, so we have a nice background. Okay. And now we're going to have to color correct the landscape rocky thing. So we're just going to make a new color balance layer and then right click, create clipping mask. And you've clipped it to the landscape layer. So now anything that I do with the color balance will only happen in the landscape layer. Let me just fix this thing here, because there's a line on top. There we go. And now we go back to our color balance, and you're going to play here with the color so that it fits your background. I'm going to add some green, for example, just add some blue in the midtones. More green. I want more green. There we go. Cyan, lower it a bit. Let's go to shadows and see if we can get some blue-green shadows. There we go. Not too much though. And a bit of more cyan, maybe? No, just like that. And there's some highlights. Highlights, we're gonna make them just like, let me see here, blue, maybe green. There we go. Just so the colors fit the background. Now I'm gonna add some curves, and I'm gonna right click and create a clipping mask and play around with the curves to make it a bit darker. There we go. And now some levels. Levels will help you, and create a clipping mask obviously, and will help you make it a little darker and more contrasted and stuff like that. I'm just gonna add this part here to give it a bit of more washed out kind of look, fade, see if I fade it like this. I'm gonna add a bit more darkness, just like that. And gonna add a fade, just a smidge. Now I'm gonna make a new layer on top of it and right click, create clipping mask again. And you're going to grab a soft brush, just a regular soft brush, big size, black, and just like brush around the corners, just like this, on the sides, so the center is lit up. So see, we're just gently coming to an end with this. We got almost everything set up. So now we're going to need to play around with the clouds. So I'm just gonna color code the clouds to green, and I'm going to color code the landscape also to green. So the clouds here, let me just group these or merge them wherever you want. It's just destructive, doesn't matter. So just merge this. Select the clouds. What is this? Clouds 2. Clouds 2. Right click and then convert a smart object. Where is it? There we go. So now it's a smart object. You have all the clouds on one layer, but you can also access them by double clicking on the thumbnail. So cloud color, the background color, I'm going to add a levels layer. No, hue and saturation. Let's try that one. Right click and create a clipping mask, obviously, to the clouds. Let me name this clouds. There we go. And I'm going to add a name here to landscape land. And I'm going to play with the hue and saturation on the clouds. I can make it darker or less saturated however I want. I can lower the lighting a bit, And I'm going to copy this hue and saturation layer by holding Alt and dragging on top of the other clouds. Right click and create clipping mask. So now we got a dark environment kind of going on, and I'm going to play with the levels too, add some levels to the topmost cloud layer. And I'm going to just mess around just like this. Add a bit more darkness, but like kind of bright on top, Add a bit more fading here. Okay. Now let's add a gradient map. Let's see what we can find here. A nice gradient map with the colors that I have here. Okay, there we go. This is the first color of the gradient map is 11F25, and the second color is 2A4058. So just copy those numbers, add them, and make your gradient if you want to. You don't have to use this color. You can use whatever dark blue you have. And I'm going to just try some blending modes and see what looks best, what makes this a nice color. Let me see here. What is this? Screen? No, I don't like that. It's too bright. Let me see here. Probably multiply overlay. Oh, hard light. That's nice. Let me add a few more things around here. Let me see. Just gonna play around. What if I had a hue? Hue, maybe. That looks good. This does not look bad at all. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. Add a hue, you know, with this blue. I like the feel of it. So now you have your background now, right? This is your pre-made background, and you can use this for your future manipulations too. So I'm just going to select everything by holding shift and dragging for the first layer to the last layer, and even a background, why not? Let me rasterize the background first. Double click on it, and it's rasterized. Oops. Now I can select all the layers and Control G to group them, you know, and call this BG. This is our background now. And now we can import the rest. Now I have these rocks here, you know, that I got from Shutterstock, and you don't actually need these exact rocks, but you can select them. You know, I can just easily select this one, for example, and I can use it as a standing stuff for the gorilla, you know, so the gorilla will be standing on it. Whoops, wrong selection. You can use any rocks. You can just grab a piece of a rock and use it as the rock that the gorilla is standing on. I'm just gonna add this one because I have it here, you know. Let me copy paste this and convert it to a smart object to resize it without losing too much quality. Actually, any quality, unless you resize it bigger. Just gonna hold shift, you know, and drag this. There we go. Oh, a good idea. You can use a sphere, you know, from the sphere tutorial to do this. That's a good idea. Now I'm gonna add the gorilla. This was the gorilla, right? This is the gorilla, and I just masked it out. You know, I just removed the background. There's also a tutorial on this on my channel. There's also tons of tutorials on how to mask stuff out. And I'm just going to drag the gorilla in. I already masked it, so I'm just gonna move it down here, and I'm gonna put it on the rock just like that. A bit more to the back, maybe. There we go. That should do. Okay, I'm just gonna move the gorilla here, and I'm going to now add the horns. So I'm just going to add the elements first, and then I'm going to color correct them, etc. So I'm just going to select this horn. You can find on DeviantArt. Search for this for animal skull or something on DeviantArt. You will find it. I promise you. I saw it a lot. I used to use it before, but now I have Shutterstock, you know. So I'm gonna copy this. Just gonna make a selection and copy it and paste it. Whoops, wrong manipulation. And convert it to a smart object. So I'm gonna call this gorilla. I'm gonna call this one rock, and I'm gonna call this horns. Now let me show you something with the rocks, because I don't want you to be hanging here, you know. If you have anything with rocks in it, like a manipulation or something, you can grab that rock and use it. I can grab this rock, for example, from this landscape. There's tons of rocky stuff on CG Textures. I swear to God, that website is amazing. If you don't use it, you're missing out. So I can just copy. Oh, there we go. This one here. This looks nice. Obviously, the quality is a bit lower because I zoomed in, but it doesn't matter because you're going to use actual rocks from CG Textures. Okay, I'm gonna link in the description some good rocks, so I can copy this and just paste it inside, you know. And the gorilla can just stand on it, you know. I can add another rock under it to make it more layered, you know. I can do whatever I want. See, that looks good. I can just lower the brightness of it, and it's good. Okay, so back to our photo manipulation. The horns. I'm just going to resize this. Let me see where it fits. It should be on top of the gorilla. Decent size, not too big, just so that it fits. Let me see here. Maybe this will be fitting here. There we go. Okay. And now we're gonna add a mask to the horns. Press B for your brush tool and select a hard brush this time. Size really small so that it fits your image. And lower the opacity of the horns so you can see where you're erasing. So we're just going to erase with the mask here so that it goes, the horns go behind the eyebrows. So we're gonna put the opacity back up. We're gonna make a copy of the horns, and we're going to press Control T, you know, to just flip it and flip horizontal. you know, right click and select flip horizontal. And I'll just tilt it a bit so it fits with your animal. Now, it doesn't have to be a gorilla, as I said. It can be any animal that you want. It can be a horse, it can be a freaking wolf, a tiger, a goose, I don't care, a duck, for example, with horns and fiery magic. And now that you have your horns, now that you have your gorilla and your rock, now you can add more elements. And let me see what else we have. You can add the fire now. But let's try to add color correct stuff a bit. So the color correction goes on as previously with the background. I'm just going to select the gorilla and add, for example, some hue and saturations. Yeah, let's just go with hue and saturation, gray clipping mask. And add some color balance, gray clipping mask. Add some levels. No, curves, add some curves, and if it's not enough, we can add some levels, and just play around with the colors. Just play around, you know, so that you get the blue kind of green feel to it, you know. Okay, so I'm going to play with the saturation a bit. I'm going to increase the saturation so I can see what color changes. There we go. Let me see some dark blue kind of thing going on. No, this isn't working. Maybe color. No way. Remove the hue and saturation. Ew. So color balance. Add some more blue. Add some more green. Oh, there we go. That's it. Let me see here. Add some more cyan. Play with the shadows. Let's add some more blue in the shadows. There we go. Just a bit more green. A smidge of green. That looks good. Let me see here. Curves. Play with the curves. Maybe if I drag this down, that looks perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to do the same for the rest. So I'm just going to group these, you know, the gorilla. So it has its own gorilla group. Gorilla. And the rock, I'm going to have to do that one too. So I'm going to add color balance, curves, levels, and create a clipping mask, you know, to the rock. Color balance, add some more blue, add some more green. That looks good. Curves, make it a bit darker. There you go. And levels, just make it a bit washed out. Let me see here, a bit darker. And just play around. There you go, that fits. Okay, so now we have our rock. We're going to call this rock. Rocks. And the horns, obviously, we gotta add some color correction to the horns. I'm just gonna merge these to a smart object so I can work with them both. And then I'm going to add color balance, and then I'm going to add maybe curves. And yeah, let's try those. Create clipping mask, create clipping mask. The color balance, add more green, add more blue. Oh, that looks good. Just a bit more green, maybe. Shadows. Let me make them, I don't know, let me see here. No, that's too much blue. That's too much green. Maybe a bit more cyan? Oh, hell yeah, definitely, that's it. Okay, so we got our horns now. So see how everything, the color just fits. You just want to make sure that it fits with the background, not too much, so it doesn't blend into the background. But this is good. This is good. This works. So horns, I'm gonna make a group out of this called it horns. Always categorize and mess with your groups and stuff so you always know where is what. Let's add some fire next. I have these fire lines. You have them in the description. This is from Shutterstock, but CG Textures also has this, so check in the description. I'm just gonna copy one of them. Let's say this one here, right? The top one. I'm just gonna select and copy and paste it inside our manipulation. And I'm going to put this on screen mode. Okay, so the black just goes away and only the lights stay. So I'm gonna convert this to a smart object. Okay, and press Ctrl T on the keyboard and resize it and kind of put it on the horns. Just like this, but not too, well, that's way too big. Let me just resize it and make it smaller. Okay, so put it sort of like a line, just covering as much horns as possible, one of the horns. And now go to edit and then puppet warp. And puppet warp is going to allow you to control how it moves, basically. So how it is. There we go. I'm gonna move this up like this. You know, you can manipulate the shape of the flame and where it's going to be and how it's going to be. There we go. I'm gonna move this a bit up here and press enter check that out. It just fits with the horns. And the thing is, you can now just make a copy of it, you know, just have 2 copies so the fire is more intense, and just convert it into a smart object. That's it. Okay, add it to screen. Wait a second. Let me check something here. What if I don't add this? Okay, it's definitely not so intense, but if it's like this, okay. Yeah, just merge them, you know, and convert it to a smart object and add them to the screen. And it's gonna be more intense. Now, let me just add a mask, zoom in, and brush the thing from the eyes, because no wonder the guy's pissed. It fires in his eyes, you know. So I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to Control T and wait a second, another copy. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this because it's more intense. I like that. So I'm going to group these 2 layers. Fire horns left or right if you're the gorilla, and I'm gonna make a copy. I'm gonna call this fire horns right, and I'm going to press Control T and flip the group horizontal, you know, with the flip. So it's just the exact same thing, but we don't want the exact same thing on every horn, so we're going to use other fire. But we're just going to, let me see, go to the mask and just brush out some elements, you know, of the fire that you don't need. I'm gonna remove here, like this one here. I don't want that, not right now. There we go. Remove this part here. This fire that looks too similar, you don't want that. Let me choose another brush. Let me see this one here. Okay, there we go. So you want it to look different. So I see how these 2 pieces here look the same, so you're just gonna like mask out a bit of the other one, and now it doesn't look that different. And on this side too. So now we're going to let me just fix this horn here. It's annoying me. Add a puppet warp, edit puppet warp, and I'm just going to add a few points and just add this to the top just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the bottom one and make a copy of this one. There we go. So now it fits the horn tip too. Okay, so we got the fire horns right and fire horns left. I'm going to need to add more fire. So let me see what I got here. Let me see what is in store. Gonna close these. I don't need them. Just lagging me. Gonna grab maybe this one. Copy and paste it inside of the horn screen. Mode, convert to smart object as usual, and Control T to transform it. You know, just make it smaller. So we can just put it now on the horns wherever we want to. I'm gonna, probably here. Okay, let's do that. And now puppet warp this stuff. Edit puppet warp. This is the horns left. Yes. I'm just going to add a few points. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Now I can manipulate it. Now I can just add the fire about here and just play around, you know, just play around. That's all there is to Photoshop, just messing around. Ooh, I like that fire kind of dripping from the horns, but that's not how fire works. So I'm just gonna add a mask to our fire layer and just brush that out because I don't need that one. It's too much, you know, and I don't want to exaggerate with fire. I mean, I want fire to be there, but now just simply copy it to the horns right by holding Alt and dragging, and I'm gonna move it. Whoops, is this one? Yes, it's that one. And I'm just gonna move it here and going to flip it horizontally and press enter. There we go. So we can add some fire on the horns. Maybe make a copy on top and move it kind of, now make a copy on top and just move it kind of down like this. I like that. But the horn, there's one horn here that's missing, and I want something on the tip of this other horn too. So I'm gonna have to puppet warp some stuff. I'm gonna just play around with fire. You know, this is probably the longest process. Just adding fire to the horns. The rest is kind of it's all right. Okay, so more fire. I don't know. Let me add some more on screen. There we go. And this is going to be on the right ones, right? Yeah. And just gonna move this on top. I want the tip to be with fire. Press enter, puppet warp, play around with puppet warp again. I want this to go on the tip, just like this. You know, just the tip. Just the tip. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna choose another brush because this is too... There we go. Make a copy of it, make it more intense. That looks cool. That looks so really cool. Let's make a copy of it and put it on this other horn too. Like this. Just right on the horn. Make a copy of it. That looks awesome. I'm gonna copy these two layers and I'm going to move them in the other fire horns. So now I can press Ctrl T and flip it horizontally. And I'm going to grab my move tool and just move on this other horn. Wait a second, did I copy them? I did not copy them. God damn it. Let me see here. Let me copy them now. Hold Alt and drag. Come on, you can do it. Fire horns left. There we go. Now press Ctrl T and flip horizontal. And now we can move it on top of this other horn. So you just copy and paste stuff. That's basically it. And check that out. That looks majestic as hell. And we also got our layers here. Also, we know the horns are here. We know the fire horns are here. And we know where everything is. Now let's add some more rocks. So with the rocks, that you're just gonna search for some rocks. You can literally go outside and take pictures with your phone of some rocks. That's how easy this is, because you're going to blur these rocks anyway. So I'm just going to select a few, like this one here, for example. I'm gonna copy and paste it inside. Whoops, wrong manipulation again. So this is going to be our kind of motion blurry kind of rocks thingy. Let's add a few more copies of the rock, or maybe just one, you know, just but like make it weird and stuff like that, you know. Smaller, tilt it, you know, play around. There we go. What are the rocks that we have here? Oh, we got this one here. It's really nice. I'm gonna select that one. There we go. Search for DeviantArt. DeviantArt has an amazing amount of stocks. You guys can't comprehend that. It's just huge. Okay, I'm gonna move this behind the gorilla. Okay, so we have to have some things behind. Maybe small. I don't like how big this horn is. Let me see how I made it here. Okay, this is too big here. I knew it. Let me just make it smaller. I mean, it's still gonna be on top of the gorilla, but smaller, you know. And I kind of want a copy of the background one. Gonna flip it horizontally and like change it and put it on top here. Maybe here. That looks alright. It's a bit too, you know, here is a bit more scattered. So I'm gonna just scatter stuff more. Let me see, because this is too close to the gorilla. Let me see what the background, there we go. I'm just gonna move the background over there, make it a bit smaller. Okay, now it's beginning to get some shape. That's really good. That's what we want. This one, we're gonna move it like definitely smaller. Just like that. And this one's going to be about here. All right, now let's make a few more copies, you know, just like that. Just copy, paste. Just like that, and kind of make weird shapes with it. Okay, so now we got our rocks here. We're going to have to color correct them. So just select all of them. Just select all of them except the bottom one, and merge them. Convert to a smart object. There we go. Now we're going to add a color correction. We're going to add some color balance, right click, create clipping mask, and some curves, create clipping mask. And we're going to fit them, of course, to the background and stuff like that. So just gonna add some blue, add some green, and that's it. Okay, just add some blue, some green, some curves, maybe a bit darker, but not too dark though. just a tiny bit. Whoops, that's way too much. Just like that.